My get-home bag only weighs 13 pounds, and I actually designed it to go 25 miles or even more. So I want to go through this with you because, a lot of times you see these videos where they have these heavy duty packs that, look like you're ready to go do some bushcraft or be on the Alone series or something like that. And I think they're overkill. The way I design this is from a backpacker's perspective, actually an ultra light backpacker's perspective. So I'm going to go over this piece by piece. And one thing about this is you can change it up any way you want. And I'm sure I'm going to leave out things that it's really going to bother you because we've been ingrained to have those in our kits. However, I don't think they're necessary, and I'll give you the reasons why. We'll start on the outside. First thing you'll see here is I have a carabiner. The reason I have a carabiner is because when I put this in my vehicle, I like to just put it on the seatbelt, and that way, if we get in an accident, this thing won't go flying around the cab of the vehicle. And also, if somebody's going to grab it, they see it in the back seat, they want to grab it. If it's connected to the seatbelt, it'll be a little more tricky for them to grab. So that's why I have that. The next thing I have is something that's kind of funny because I say I designed this for backpacking. However, I never carry backpacking spray unless I'm in grizzly country or in an area where there's bad people. So I have two types. I have the bear spray, and I have this in a holster thing that will fit on my strap. So if I have to put it on my strap, I can. So I have that, and then I also and that's for large groups of people. Then I have the smaller mace, which is just for individuals. If I have to, do some non-lethal type of action against a person, I have this. That's all I have. The backpack that I have, it's a mystery ranch because originally I had the molle style, military style backpack that you always see. And then I just, I saw some videos and I started thinking about it. We don't want that because you want to blend in. You don't want to stand out. And there's nothing that makes you stick out than you look like G.I. Joe. But I never would get a mole because if you see a mole, the mole is the webbing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it has the webbing in it, the military style. Because it just, it reeks of that guy probably has a lot of expensive stuff in it. Okay, and then on this side, I have a water bottle, which is full of water and adds some weight to my 13 pounds. I chose a metal bottle, and the reason I chose this is because once again where I live, I may have to deal with somebody and I can hit somebody in the noggin with this, and that's why I chose the metal. You can also do what we do backpacking and get just a smart water bottle. It's a whole lot lighter, and it also has another use that I'll show you in a little bit. So let's open this bad boy up. On the first pocket, first thing I have is wag bags. I have a video. I'll put a video in the description on how to use wag bags. This is something that you use in case you have to go poo out in the middle of wherever and you can't dig a cat hole. Wag bags. I always carry them. I love them. I use them all the time. The next thing I have is along the same lines. This is a shovel. This is for digging cat holes. For once again, if you have to go poo. You never see this. This is what you need. Just one of these lightweight shovels. You can dig your hole. And this works great if you're in an area that has some dirt or whatever. And then I also have, of course, I have toilet paper. You can never have enough toilet paper. I've learned that the hard way backpacking. So I always bring a lot of toilet paper. And I have some wet wipes in here too. Little wet wipes. So that's the toilet kit. The next thing I have in here is what we should all have is a headlamp. You have a headlamp. The next thing I have, you probably don't even need these. See, that's one thing about this kit is I'm looking at 25 miles. If you're only going to go a few miles, you may only need a fanny pack. You don't, or just carry a water bottle. Where I used to live, I lived 8 miles from work. And I used to practice, because I'm really into training and practicing. So I used to practice bugging home from work, which is 8 miles. And all I did, at first I carried the pack, and then I realized all I needed is a couple granola bars and some water. And I made it just fine. So think about that. Because when you want it light, and that's the reason we're doing this light. So you can put some miles on, you're comfortable. I mean, we're not, I don't know about you, but I'm not a 20-year-old Marine. I can't just go packing heavy stuff, you know, anywhere. So, and I want to be fast and easy. So I got these gloves because where I go, I have to go through 2 towns and the forest. And in our forest, we have poison oak, blackberries, and things like that. So I want to have gloves. So I bought these lightweight gloves for that. The next thing is something I always carry, just because some nitrile gloves. I have those for, you know, first aid or whatever. I just carry them lightweight, and I always have those with me because you never know when you need them. The next thing I have, deja vu from 2020, is I actually have a face mask. And the reason is say I'm going through an area where there's a lot of like protesting and things like that. Those people generally wear face masks. So I want to blend in. So I'll probably put this on, put my backpack on, and then I'll look like, you know, the Antifa or whatever that's doing their thing. And it also, like if I'm trying to hide in some bushes, I could always cover my face. Okay, that's all we have in that pocket. Now we'll go to this back pocket. Okay, I have my food bag. You'd think you'd have to bring a whole bunch of food, cooking pot, things like that. Nope, because you don't want to sit down and start making a meal, right? So all you need are some, you know, I got some Cliff Bars in here. I've been getting these. These are really good. If you haven't tried them, these are the Dave's bread. They're very filling. That's why I like them. Because you eat one of these, you feel like you ate a lot. And the other one that really fills you up, that blows me away, are these Bobos or something like that. Man, you should try those. Those things will. You eat one of these and you're good to go. That's a meal. There's no reason to cook. And you'll notice here, this will cause a lot of people to squirm. But I don't have any fire. I don't see a reason to start a fire in the summer. Through hikers hike from Mexico all the way to Canada, and they never need to start a fire. I've hiked in the last 6 years. I've never started a fire. There's no reason to have a fire except for in the winter, and that's a whole different setup. Once you get to winter, you got to change some of this stuff up. But I know they always preach, oh, you got to have your fire. Well, if I'm trying to get home, I'm not going to start a fire. I just don't, it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, the next thing I do, because I do like my comfort, it's not heavy, a seat pad. This in case when I got to take a break, and if I go 25 miles, I'll need a seat pad. And this is what I have. They're super, super lightweight. You just sit on them. That way, if you sit on a rock or something, or a log, you're good to go. Then I also brought something a little more extravagant. This is a really good breakfast. This is a granola Mountain House. Just no cooking needed. All you have to do is just throw some water in there, and you let it sit for a couple minutes, and you can eat it. And which I do have a spoon in here too, by the way. So I got a little fold-up spoon. It's a little titanium spoon here, so I can eat my Mountain House. I'm a Mountain House guy. So that's that. Okay, and that's all I have in there. So now we'll open up the main compartment. And that's one thing I like about this thing is how it opens up. That's the reason I bought this pack, just because it just opens right up. Okay, I got a hat. And this is just non-political, just blend in. It's like a Permacold Engineering Incorporated. I put that on. And then if I'm going through, I'll blend in. It keeps the sun out of my eyes. If I'm going through the bad areas, I can throw that on, my mask, blend right in. Kind of go gray man. So I have that. Just a nondescript hat. Okay, I'm really into first aid, but this is a full, this is basically an active shooter kit, trauma kit. I have a tourniquet on the back, and it's set up to do all kinds of magic. So I have this full first aid kit. This is one of the big things I actually do carry, because I figure if things get really bad, this may come in handy. Okay, the next thing I got is my water kit. Okay, I'm going to show you something that I'm going to take out. Okay, they have these. If you ever get one of these, what you do with these is you throw them out. They're worthless. Okay, what instead you get is what I have is it's called a knock bag. And I have a video on using these filters. I'll put a link down in the description. And these work great because what you do is you just scoop up the water and then you connect your filter here and then you can squeeze and then you can fill up your bottle with this. And you can also fill this up, put it on the back of your pack and carry it with you if you have to carry it out. And then what I do is then I have my platypus filter, which is my favorite. This one, I love these filters. A lot of people use the Sawyer. I prefer these. They got caps on both ends. You know, so it's nice, so they don't leak out on you. These are great filters. And once again, I have that video you can watch and learn how to use this. And then of course I have my key. This is I think they call it Silcock key. And these are used to open up on industrial buildings. Instead of having a regular hose bib, they have just a little tab that sticks out. And this little nipple. And you just turn this and then you can get water. If you don't have this, you can't get water. So this, if you're going through like the cities and towns, just go to the side of a large department store or building, and they usually have those. You can fill up your bottle there. I also always carry, in case I carry this bottle, I will get back to this. I always carry an extra cap. This also, that filter, what you can do is you can dip this into the water, and then it screws on. So this is dirty water, and this you drink through. This actually does filter out bacteria and protozoa along with sediment. You pop it open. This is dirty water. You can drink like that. It's perfect. Okay, the next thing I have, okay, this is getting a little hardcore. This is for me. I doubt you'll need this. If you're only going a few miles, and just think about how far you go and what you might need. Also the weather you have in your area. This is a poncho. It opens up, and what I use this for is for sleeping. It's also for rain. But you can actually, use rope and make a tent out of it. But if you just put it on and lay down, it works great as a little, like a burrito tent. So I have one of these. If you don't have to go a long distance, just get a lightweight, raincoat. That's all you'll need. You don't need to go crazy. You don't need this. I need this because I'm going 25 miles or even more. I can go more than that if I just throw some more food in. Because when I go backpacking, I'll do 70 miles and I'll carry about the same stuff, except for I'll have a tent. Okay, to go with that, I like my comfort. That's why I have the seat pad. I also have this little blow up pillow, because I have to have a pillow. And I'm going to have to sleep, because the longest I've ever done in one day is 27 miles. And if things are bad, I'm not going to go the whole way. So I'll probably have to sleep. So I want to have a pillow. The next thing I have, and I'll put a link in the description for the pillow, and also for this, and a couple of the other things I'll put a links in the description. This is actually a ultralight sleeping pad. It's very small. This one you can't buy anymore. I bought this many years ago. I've used this I put hundreds of miles on this thing backpacking. I love it. And this is what I have. It's retired now to this bag. But I'll put a link in the description for the Climate, which is the same one that makes the pillow. And they make a really comfortable, lightweight sleeping pad, which I also have. It's one I've used, and I actually like it. But it's all because they always talk about, let's pile up some leaves and do this. Do you really? I mean, think about it. Are you going to pile up leaves? However, remember that, if you're going to, just be going a few miles, and don't plan on spending the night, because a get-home bag is not a bug-out bag. A get-home bag is just to get you from work to home. It's just that simple. Or wherever you are, if you're shopping or wherever, if you're away from your home, it's just to get you as many miles, so you kind of figure out how far will you be, So you probably won't need this, but that's what's in mine, because I'm going 25 miles. The next thing I have is, I always carry, because it's surprising, even like in the desert, how cold it gets. So what I got here is a beanie. And then I also have some warm gloves. And I got the gloves that have the little fingers for your phone. I have that. And then I also, I love these things. I got some hot hands. I don't know if you've ever tried those, but these things work great. I don't care if it's the middle of August. It gets cold at night. When I'm backpacking, it's surprising, especially if you're in this, just in the outdoors, just, with no real shelter. The next thing you might think is kind kind of funny, and it is. This is what I carry backpacking, so I carry it with me here. Because one thing I like, if things go bad and you're kind of stressed, for some reason, you wouldn't believe it, but brushing your teeth makes you feel a little bit of normalcy. All of a sudden, if you get up in the morning and you've got to do another day, it gives you energy, and it just makes you feel like everything is good. I'm going to make it home. It's a weird thing. It's probably just me, but so I have that. And then I also have, which you'll find funny, which I use backpacking. These are toothpaste tablets. I just get these because they're super light, and you don't have to worry about the toothpaste blowing up on you. These are toothpaste tablets. All they are is basically freeze-dried toothpaste. So you throw them in your mouth, you chew on them a little bit, and then you brush your teeth. And then I also have in here, I just have some more first aid, just stuff I need. I got some antihistamines, and I also have some Tums, because you might be stressed and you never know what's going on with your stomach. And then I also have some ibuprofen. And then, even though you probably won't want to, but sometimes, like, if there's a lot of noise going on, I have earplugs so I can sleep. But you may want to know what's going on in your surroundings, so you may not want to use those. But that's specific to whatever you're going through. Okay, and then the next thing I have is emergency blanket. See, isn't it amazing how much stuff is only, I got all this and it's only 13 pounds. Emergency blanket. Okay, then on this side, here I have my little charger. This is an Anchor battery charger that I use. And then in here I have all the cables that I need for my phone and stuff. So my phone and my headlamp. That way, if it goes dead, I can charge it. Actually, this I had in here. This was rope, and I'm taking it out because it weighs too much, and I don't think I'll ever be using it. I don't see a reason. I was going to use it for setting up my shelter, then I thought, why should I set up a shelter? So that's going to go over here. I'm not going to use that. Oh, then I have just a little trash bag in case I have to do some trash or whatever. So there you have it. This is what I have. All that weighs about 13 pounds, and that's even with the water. So my base weight is even less. This I know will get me 25 miles easy, and even more if I add some more food, some more bars. And all you need to do is eat bars. So this is a good setup. Definitely put some comments out there. Ask some questions. My name is Wayne, and I'm with Normal Prepping. Thank you.